Yo guys, what's up? It's Cherry here, coming at you guys with the week 7 of the WPF. Your Rose Tower Copper Risers are going against Sean is OP and the Cleveland Crowns. If you did not watch my week 6 battle, or if you didn't watch my mid-season analysis of the Rose Tower Copper Risers, I will put both of them in like either bells or in the description, or I actually made a playlist for the WPF that I'll probably put in the description and as a bell to click on. But if you didn't watch our week 6 versus Gummies, the London Lapras, I will give you guys 5 seconds to go watch it before I spoil. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We won 4-0. We won somehow. We somehow won 4-0 against a sand team, and my team is literally weak to sand teams, but we won. Thank God it's draft. But we are now 7-0 plus 34, and we are sitting in a very, very comfortable spot. If I can win my next 2 games, undefeated or not, I think I'm pretty much clinched for playoffs, which would be really, really nice, because now I can then lay low, and you know, all this pressure to stay undefeated is kind of racking up just a little bit, but you know, I'm enjoying it. However, this matchup, it wasn't as hard as week 6, but it couldn't be taken lightly. I had a lot of answers to their team though. Like, I felt like Aerodactyl really had an impact. I also felt Rabombi had a really big impact on this team as well, but I didn't bring it. Shout out to Beal's building server. I don't know what it's called right off the bat, but I want to shout them out. Building Academy, excuse me. I want to shout them out because I usually go to their server not just for not exactly for prep help, but more of advice going into the battle, and maybe to make some tweaks to my team that are already built. So for example, I went to the server and I didn't notice, but my Sylveon had Pixelate Moonblast, and I didn't notice, but they did. So I was like, thank you, because I would have went into the battle with Pixelate Moonblast and I would have literally said SMH and would have literally cried. But nonetheless, I want to shout them out. I'm going to put their Discord in the description below, as well as a shout out to Snom Squad, Beal, Shandy, and I'm missing someone, Paramit, if I'm not mistaken. Those 4, I thank you very much for pointing those things out and helping me. Because if I was Pixelate Moonblast, I would have cried and I would have lost, or may have lost. I don't know how much of an impact Hyper Voice had on this battle, but nonetheless, wait, did I just spoil the match? I said I was 7-0 plus 34, wasn't I? Yeah, this is the week 7 battle. Anyway, spoilers, I won. Spoilers, I won. However, I think you should stay and watch the battle. I just spoiled it. Oh no. Alright, well, okay. I suggest you guys stay and watch. If you don't watch the intro, thank God, because you won't see this. But if you do, then spoiler alert. Heh. Anyway, I'm going to click the play button. Nidoking was a big, big threat to me, and looking now, I really, really, really like Chandelure lead, but I doubt I led Chandelure. I think I led Rotom-Mow. No, me and my Rotom-Mow. But we're gonna lead. We're gonna click the bait button. We're gonna click the play button now. So here we go. I did lead Chandelure. Go me, and they led Zeraora. Okay, so here's some context. I was very, very scared of Scarf Zeraora. The people in the Discord server I was in was like, they're not bringing Scarf Zeraora. It doesn't make sense. They're not doing it. I'm like, okay, they may not do it, but I'm still scared. I was Scarf Chandelure, so I really didn't want to risk it. I really didn't. So I decided to switch out into the Rotom-Mow, and they clicked the knockoff button. It did 25, so it revealed that they were Jolly. So I'm like, oh god, okay. It made me less scared, because why would you be Jolly Scarf? That doesn't really make any sense. Your base 143 speed. and my Mega Aerodactyl is base 150, so it doesn't make sense. But nonetheless, they reveal that they are jolly from that damage, and I'm like, thank God. Okay, I'm now not as scared. But here, I click the Volt switch, predicting a switch out from the Zero Aura, predicting me to click Will-O-Wisp. That took a lot out of me to say. But yes, I clicked the Volt switch here, which was a really good play on my end, if I can admit so. And I go into Sylveon. Now, I was expecting a Steelix switch in. I was expecting it. But knowing how I played, they could have scouted, because I make predictions. Like, I go all in. It's go big or go home, right? Sometimes, most of the time. So here I'm like, well, what if they expect me to expect them to switch out to Steelix and they stay in? But honestly, there wasn't a drawback to clicking Mystical Fire. There wasn't a drawback. But I still clicked the Hyper Voice anyway. I wanted to be safe, and they do go into the Steelix, and I click Hyper Voice and I do 19%, which reveals at the time that they were fully Spadef. So I'm like, okay, if you're fully Spadef, I can get off a free Wish here and gauge some damage, because you're going to be doing nothing to me. Like, Heavy Slam's going to do a lot, but it's not going to do a big amount. So I Wish here, and they click Heavy Slam, and they do 89%. 89%. I'm like, hold up. I calc. That's a max attack Heavy Slam. I'm like, excuse me? And I'm like, wait, did I calc wrong? So I'm calculating. I'm like, wait, okay, 19% is fully Spadef, but Heavy Slam is max attack. I calc max Spadef, max attack. That doesn't work. So I'm like, what if you're Assault Vest? So I put the Assault Vest on there, and what do you know? They're max HP, max attack, Brave. That was a roll for Brave, max attack, Heavy Slam, and the Hyper Voice was in the role of max HP, Assault Vest, Steelix. So I'm like, okay, good. So that's one less rocker I have to worry about on my team. Fine. But now I just took a lot of chip on my Sylveon for no reason, in my opinion. And it really put me down, because this thing was meant to switch into Latios, and now it really can't. I'm also forced to protect here, by the way, because I'm so low. But I guess it was good, because they didn't have Stealth Rock. They were just purely Assault Vest. So here they click the Earthquake, predicting me to switch out into, I believe, Chandelure or the Jirachi, either or. And here I'm like, okay, you clicked Earthquake here, you're not going to click it again. There's no way, right? So I decide to switch out into Rotom-Mow, and they click the Heavy Slam, and it's resisted. They do nothing to me. Fine. Here I click the Will-O-Wisp. Did I click Volt Switch again? No, I clicked Will-O-Wisp, yeah. Because honestly, I didn't want them staying in. Like, what if they were like Ice Fang, Sheer Force? Like, that would have been scary. I don't know if that's what they were, but they were Assault Vest, so they might have been. But nonetheless, I wanted to Will-O-Wisp, so I wanted to be safe, and Latios comes in. I'm like, okay, cool. This is fine, right? So a Mystical Fire could be coming out. Could be. And honestly, I wasn't, Jirachi was like the least of my not the least of my problems, was like, I was playing a little bit flexible with Jirachi here. So I think I went to Jirachi on this play. Yep, I did go into Jirachi, and they actually click Psychic. And the Psychic does 10%, which reveals that they are Timid, max special attack. So I'm like, okay. I don't see why I don't click U-turn here. So I click U-turn. I go out into the Chandelure. And here, I'm like, they're not staying in on me. Even if they're Assault Vest max HP dies to a Flamethrower at 77, right? It drops, right? They're not staying in on me. They wouldn't just sack this thing out of the blue. That doesn't make any sense. So predicting that, I double into Rotom-Mow, and they actually stayed in. I was like, oh, okay, I guess. But here they go into Nidoking. I click the Will-O-Wisp again. I really wanted this Steelix burned. You guys have no idea. I really wanted that thing burned. But here I go into my dedicated switch in, which was Girder. I don't have a switch in to Nidoking. It's so, But here I go into it. I want to get off some chip. Definitely. And now that I know you're Balloon, you're not Scarf. So I can just go like Rachi or Aerodactyl or whatever I so choose. So they click the Sludge Wave there. I could have went to Jirachi, but it wasn't optimal. So I sack Girder to get a free switch in to my Aerodactyl, and I Mega Evolve, and I decide to click the Earthquake. And as you guys will see, it did 39%, which tells me it's not Fizz Def at all. It's not Fizz Def at all. It's like max special attack or something like that, right? So I'm not worried. I switch out to the Sylveon. They click Scald, and it did 22 and birds me. So from the 22%, it revealed that they were max special attack. And I was like, okay, does a Sludge Wave kill me? Because I know it gets Sludge Wave. I know it gets Sludge Wave. Because of the anime back in Pokemon Black and White, the Palpatine used Sludge Wave. So Scytherso definitely gets Sludge Wave. I wanted to see if a Sludge Wave killed, and it didn't. So I was free to wish here. And they decided to click Knockoff. Good play on them. And I decided to wish. And I think... Was I smart and went into... No, I might have protected. No, I went to Rotom. Yay, that's what I thought I would do. Yay, go me. So I go into Rotom, and I'm back at 100. And here, I'm like, I Volt Switch out here. They do reveal the Mystical Fire. That's yet again a roll for Timid Max Special Attack. I click the Volt Switch. I go immediately into the Chandelure. I don't see a Shadow Ball switch in. I don't see a Shadow Ball switch in at all. Charizard comes in. Okay, you're going to take like 50. And it takes 31. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, are you defensive Charizard? I was so confused. But I was like, okay, so I can just go into Sylveon here. And they click Tailwind. I'm like, oh god. If they go Nidoking here, they pick up 3 kills. Or I have to make really aggressive predictions in order for it to not get 3 kills. But Nidoking just gets 3 kills if it comes in. And honestly, I was so scared. I was like, no, please don't. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. They go Zero Aura. I'm like, okay, this is fine. I can just go into the Rotom here. Rotom is my dedicated switch in. I also get the Wish. Plasma Fist does minimal to nothing, literally. And I get the Wish back up, which is good for me. So here they decide to switch into the Charizard as I click Will-O-Wisp. Good play on that. And here is the turn of the game, I'd argue. This was the turn of the game. My mind told me to go into Aerodactyl. My gut was like, if they're Tailwind, what if they're Tailwind Will-O-Wisp? And then at that point, that's when my mind started going everywhere. I'm like, okay, so I can just go into Chandelure, but what if they predict that and click Scorching Sands? Or what if I stay in and Volt Switch and they predict that, or they just click what's in front of them and they click Fire Blast and they kill me? Or if I go into Aerodactyl like I'm thinking to go into, but they're Will-O-Wisp, and then Aerodactyl is weakened for the rest of the match, and then I could lose. Because Aerodactyl was definitely my cleaner this game. So it was a long turn. This turn, I took like 3 minutes on this turn. I'm not even gonna lie. It took me like 3 minutes to like really like, I don't know what to do here. So honestly, I was like, okay, from the Shadow Ball damage, you're defensive. A Flamethrower doesn't kill me. A Fire Blast, if you're defensive, depends on a roll-ish to kill me. I'm at 100. So I can just click Volt Switch here and be fine. Like, Rotom dying here is not that good, but I'd rather Rotom die than Aerodactyl get burned. So I do decide to stay in and hard Volt Switch. They click the Will-O-Wisp like I had suspected. I was like, thank God. So I Volt Switch here, and I go immediately into the Chandelure. And I don't see a Shadow Ball switch in, so I just click Shadow Ball, and they are gone. And the first kill on the Rose Tower Caparazes goes to Chandelure. Here, I was like, nope, no bueno. I'm just going to switch into Rotom. I'm scared of Scarf. I don't know why. But they Volt Switch here. Good play on them, and they go into Nidoking, and this was a problem. Now, I can see myself going into Jirachi here. I can see myself making that play. Because I think I was predicting a Sludge Wave. Yeah, they should have burst powered, not gonna lie. But they do Ice Beam, so they made a prediction, but it was just the wrong one. And Jirachi comes in for pretty much free, and Sugarberry's still intact. I can click the Iron Head and get a kill on the Nidoking if they let me, which they did. So I was like, thank God, Nidoking was such a huge threat, and now it's out of the way. So Steelix comes in. I'm like, I hard U-turn here, and I go immediately into the Rotom Mo, dedicated switch in, and they decide to click the Earthquake. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna Will-O-Wisp here. I really, really, really needed this thing burned. Without a doubt, needed this thing burned. Oh, I Volt Switch. Oh, look at me. Do I go Chandelure? Oh, I remember this. Yeah. So I Volt Switch out, and I go into Chandelure, and I'm like, okay, I live any hit from you. And I can just Shadow Ball, and I can get rid of you. And here, they reveal to actually be Scarf, and they click Dragon Pulse and crit me, which was unfortunate. And I do decide to click Shadow Ball, and they're gone. So I'm like, this is amazing, because now they don't have a Will-O-Wisp switch in. So now I can just sack Chandelure, I can go Rotom, and I can just click the Will-O-Wisp, and they don't have a switch into that. Because Seismitoad dies to a Leaf Storm, and Zeraora and Steelix do nothing to me. But I go Aerodactyl instead to bait. Good play, Cherry. Good play. Wow. Good play. But I know for sure I click Will-O-Wisp here. Or do I click the Leaf Storm? No, I click, yeah. Duh. And I missed, unfortunately. So I decided to click it again, as they have no switch into a Will-O-Wisp. No switch in. And they click Body Press, they do nothing to me. Not worried about it, right? And I was like, I need to put this thing in range to where Aerodactyl can clean up. Because at 50%, that's the perfect place for Steelix to be after a +1 Home Claws, right? So, good play on me. I was about to, I paused it too late. But here, I was thinking, wait, you're going to click Earthquake here. There's no way you click Heavy Slam on me unless you misclick, right? So, I could just U-turn here. I could go into Aerodactyl. And no, I was Home Claws this week. So, going to Aerodactyl on the Earthquake. I lived any Heavy Slam now that they were burned, and it was one of the freest Home Claws ever, not gonna lie. And they're just taking Burn Chip. It's putting them more in range, and from here it was pretty much game over. I click Earthquake, Dual Wing Beat, Stone Edge respectively, and pick up 3 kills with Aerodactyl. Shout out to Aerodactyl, man. Aerodactyl is doing so well this season. And yeah, that is our Week 7 match against the Cleveland Crowns. Sorry if I sound in a rush. I'm trying to get this in on Friday as my usual date. I love being consistent. But thank you all for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Oh, my favorite song. Sorry. But yeah, so thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle. This battle was very interesting. I think I should have thought more about the Wish Turn on Sylveon against the Steelix that one play, but I think I played pretty well, and I'm very excited for the weeks to come. Week 8, I battle against Mega Sableye, and I have a Toxapex, so that's going to be very, very interesting. However, nonetheless, I want to thank you all for watching, and most importantly, I want you guys to stay safe, wash your hands, and ensure your family around you. That's all I request. That's all I ask, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!